Greetings, everyone. Well, it's closer look time again here on the Multimedia Chronicles. This time around, we're going to do kind of a franchise collection overview. Yeah, I thought it was about time we took a look at all of the various Planet of the Apes stuff that I have. I did do an early days closer look at the 40-year evolution set many moons ago, but again, much like some of my other collections we've been revisiting, it was before the days of high definition, and it was literally about 10 years ago, because now it's actually the 50th anniversary of the original movie. So yeah, it's literally been 10 years. Well, I guess a little less than 10. I can't remember when I did it exactly, but I didn't get it right away. But anyway, I thought it would be a good time to revisit this one, maybe take a bit more of an in-depth look at it than we did last time, and also take a look at all the other stuff that has been added to the Planet of the Apes collection over the years. So, it's an Apes-a-thon today on a closer look on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Now, I was kind of late to the Planet of the Apes party. It was kind of one of the first big sci-fi franchises. I mean, it came out almost a full decade before Star Wars took over the world. And it was kind of notable in that it was one of the first ones that had a lot of tie-ins to it. I mean, of course, you had Star Trek and stuff like that, but this is the first, movie franchise kind of thing. So you had toys, you had comics, you had novels. If it had been a few years later, you probably would have had video games too. But yeah, so throughout the late 60s to the mid 70s, Planet of the Apes was the big sci-fi franchise. And a lot of people grew up with it, and it was kind of their thing. In that respect, it was kind of the Star Wars of its day, you know. But yeah, I was kind of late to the party, as I said, because it came out a little bit before my time. I mean, by the time all the movies had come out and it had gone through the TV series and the animated series, I was 3. So, yeah, a little too young to really appreciate the subtle nuances and social commentary and just sci-fi goodness of Planet of the Apes. So it wasn't until quite some time later, when I was about, 15 or 16, Battle for the Planet of the Apes, the 5th movie in the series, just seemed to be a favorite to show on Saturday afternoons on one of the local stations, and they just showed it over and over and over again. So Battle for the Planet of the Apes was actually the first one I saw. And, I thought it was decent, I thought it was okay, but it didn't really wow me. So it wasn't until a couple of years after that one of the local stations actually had a Planet of the Apes marathon, where over the course of a week, Monday through Friday, they showed all 5 movies, one per night. So I just watched all 5 movies and finally got to see the entire saga. And actually seeing it all back to back like that, and then seeing how the 5th one fit into everything, it just blew me away. I was like, wow, that was really good. And then I remembered seeing in the TV guide another Planet of the Apes marathon, but I don't think it was on a channel that I could get. Often in the TV guide, you'd see listings. It would be for a fairly wide area, and sometimes you'd see listings for channels you didn't get, you just weren't available in your area. But were close enough that they would appear in your TV guide. So there was another 5-day marathon of Apes movies, but these were ones I'd never heard of before. I thought, oh, did they do another 5 movies that I didn't know about? And they had really strange titles, like Back to the Planet of the Apes. Well, that one's not too strange. I guess, it's returning to the franchise or what have you. Forgotten City of the Planet of the Apes. Treachery and Greed on the Planet of the Apes. Life, Liberty, and Pursuit on the Planet of the Apes. And finally, Farewell to the Planet of the Apes. So, 5 more movies. So I was like, they did 10 movies? How long did this franchise run? But no, what those movies were is they were actually movie compilations of 10 of the 14 episodes of the live-action TV series from 1974. So, yeah. So for the longest time, that was kind of an enigma to me. Like, what were those other movies? And then I heard about there was a live action series, and I was like, oh, I'd like to see that. More adventures with the Planet of the Apes. And then of course I heard about the animated series, and yeah, so pretty cool stuff. So yeah, I mean, it was a franchise that definitely had some staying power. Even the comics, actually, the comics were done in Marvel's full magazine size black and white format. And they had these beautiful painted covers. And then they started off by adapting the movies. They actually adapted all 5 movies in serialized form over the course of the comics, and then they did some original stories as well. Interesting side note to that, there's actually been some beautiful hardcover compilations of those stories that have recently been released. I think there's about 4 volumes of them, and they reprint the covers as well as all of the original stories, as well as the movie adaptations. So pretty cool stuff. I'd definitely like to get those for the collection at some point. Alrighty, so we've got a lot of stuff to cover here, a lot of things to take a look at. So let's head on down to the Black Void and check out The Planet of the Apes on DVD and Blu-ray. Okay, here we go. So we'll start at the beginning with the original Planet of the Apes 5-movie collection. This is the 40-year evolution set. I should mention, interesting side note, 2018 is actually the 50th anniversary of the franchise, so I'm kind of wondering if there's going to be an even more deluxe-er edition of some kind coming out. For the longest time, this was the ultimate edition to get. There was an alternate version of this that you could get that actually came in a mock-up of Caesar's head. So it was like literally the discs were stored in his head. Or maybe in the stand at the bottom or something. I don't know. Anyway, it was this cool Caesar head. And it had all 5 movies. It had the live-action series. And it had the animated series. Now, one thing to note about that is it was the first release of the animated series on DVD, but it was not the remastered version. The remastered version came out later in an individual release, which is what I have. So here we go. So if we take a look, whoops, there's the spine there. Let's see, and the spine there, and the top. You can see it's a book. We'll take a look at that in a moment. And nice sort of tray at the bottom there. And then on the back, you can see we have the backing sheet, which I'm trying to hold in place to give you some idea what it originally looked like, which basically just gives you a list of all the contents. And you can see from the tiny, tiny print, there's a ton of stuff. You got English and French, because of course it's the Canadian release. But very, very nice. So let's take a look here and see what all we've got. So basically, the book isn't just a bonus in the collection. The book actually is the collection. I don't know how well you can see. Mine's a little sort of bumpy there. That's, I don't know, damage or misprint or whatever. But I got this at a discount. It was like half what it normally went for. I think it was originally like $120 for this set. I got it for like $60. You can now get a box set of just the movies and the extras for, $20. It's ridiculously cheap. Anyway, so we got Ape shall never kill ape, the classic phrase there, and there we've got the fine cast. I think if we take a look here on the back. Oh, there, yep. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, yeah, and yeah. So if we open it up. This is a gigantic gatefold that starts off giving you a timeline. So anyone familiar with the timeline will know that things actually change. History is altered when Cornelius and Zira go back in time in Taylor's spaceship and end up in present-day Earth. And they actually unwittingly set into motion the chain of events that would eventually lead to the apes taking over. It's a wonderful kind of time loop if you follow the continuity, but there's a couple of alterations. You'll notice different colored text here. So this is original timeline. Or no, sorry, this is original timeline, the white, and then the orange is the altered timeline after Cornelius and Zira go back in time and change things. And because you'll notice in the original movie, Cornelius tells the story of how the ape revolution took place and how the apes ultimately took over. But then when we go back in time through Escape, and in particular in Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, we actually see a lot of those events that he was describing in the earlier movie unfold. But it's slightly different from how he told it. And the reason it's slightly different is because when they went back in time, they changed things. So they're actually in an alternate timeline. And that's important to remember. So alternate timelines, keep that in mind. So we open this up here. You can see we've got the first 3 movies. And they're on these weird sort of rubber hubs. And they're numbered as well. That are literally on the book. Like, they're these rubber hubs that just kind of stick in the middle, and they're a little bit sticky. And the discs just kind of fit very exactly on them. It keeps them very firm, and I mean, being Blu-ray, I'm not really concerned about them getting scratched. It's just a bit of a pain to get them off. I don't know why they did it sort of weird like that. Now, we do have a list of special features, which we'll go over in just a moment. But first, I just want to show you the rest of the set here. Now, this is the actual book part of the set here, which we'll look at in just a moment. And then down here we have the last 2 movies. We got Conquest and Escape Battle for the Planet of the Apes. And here, we just slide the book out. There we go. It's basically a paper sleeve that the rear of the cover slides into. And this is a very nice hardcover book. You can see we've got the profile of the main Apes characters there as well. I'll just give you a quick little flip through it here. This is a beautiful book with all kinds of stuff, like closer looks at the a lot of the set, props and costumes, and the beautiful Nova there, and all kinds of stuff. But all kinds of cast photos and stuff about the story, stuff about each individual movie. They even have stuff about the animated series and the live-action TV series in here. But this is an absolutely fantastic book. Just an absolute treat if you're a fan of the franchise. It's just absolutely beautiful. So, if we just let you stare at the beautiful book there while we take a look at the extras. So, all right, the extras. Here we go. Are you ready? This is quite a list. So to start off with Planet of the Apes, we have commentary by actors Roddy McDowall, Kim Hunter, and Natalie Trundy, and makeup artist John Chambers. A second commentary by composer Jerry Goldsmith. A text commentary by Eric Green, author of Planet of the Apes as American Myth. The Science of the Apes bonus view, Beyond the Forbidden Zone adventure game, a public service announcement from ANSA, the Evolution of the Apes featurette, the Impact of the Apes featurette. Behind the Planet of the Apes documentary with interactive mode. Now, they just list that as one tick on the list of extras, but that is a feature-length, like 2-hour-long documentary that goes into considerable detail about the entire franchise, and it's narrated by Roddy McDowall, so pretty cool stuff. And we got the Archives of the Apes, which includes the original makeup test with Edward G. Robinson from 1966. Yeah, they were working on this for like 2 years. Roddy McDowall's on-set footage, dailies, and outtakes. Yes, Roddy McDowall actually took home movie footage on set, and a bunch of that is included here. NATO presentation from 1967, a vintage Planet of the Apes featurette, teaser trailer, and original theatrical trailer. And then finally, the Galleries of the Apes, which includes the Ape newspaper, interactive press book, advertising, lobby cards, makeup, costume design, sketches, props, and behind-the-scenes photos. That's just the first movie. Beneath the Planet of the Apes, we have an isolated score track. From Alpha to Omega, building a sequel featurette, the original theatrical trailer, the Ape News Gallery, an interactive press book, advertising gallery, lobby card gallery, and behind-the-scenes gallery. Escape from the Planet of the Apes, we have an isolated score track, the Secret Behind Escape featurette, Don Taylor directs Escape from the Planet of the Apes featurette, original theatrical trailer, advertising gallery, and behind-the-scenes gallery. Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, this is where things get pretty cool. Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, we actually have both the unrated and theatrical versions. Now, there are considerable differences between those two, in particular the endings. I generally prefer the unrated version because it's a little more brutal, a little more violent, which I think is truer to sort of the series of events that's going on in the history of the mythology. But the ending is definitely more brutal than what is later referred back to in the next movie. The theatrical ending is the canon ending, by the way, although I do prefer the unrated version. Contains an isolated score track on the unrated version only. Riots and Revolutions Confronting the Times featurette. A look behind the Planet of the Apes featurette from 1972. J. Lee Thompson directs Conquest of the Planet of the Apes featurette. Original theatrical trailer, Future News Gallery, interactive press book, advertising gallery, lobby card gallery, and behind the scenes gallery. Then finally, Battle for the Planet of the Apes. Once again, we have two cuts. We've got the extended and theatrical versions. Needless to say, I tend to lean towards the extended versions because I just love this world and this mythology, so more please, and I'm there. Isolated score track on the extended version only. End of an Epic, the final battle featurette. Original theatrical trailer. San Simeon Sentinel Gallery. Interactive press book, advertising gallery, and behind the scenes gallery. So there you go. Quite a wealth of material. And as far as I'm aware, all the other subsequent releases of this on Blu-ray and DVD include most, if not all, of those extras. So if you pick up the cheaper Blu-ray set, really the only thing you're missing is the book. But in terms of the on-disc contents, you get everything that I just listed there. So that's pretty awesome. So yeah, do yourself a treat and pick up any version of this set. If you luck out and find this version, though, with the book, get it, because the book is absolutely gorgeous. Alrighty, that is just the beginning. There's more. So next up, we have Planet of the Apes, the complete television series, which includes a couple episodes that actually did not air in its original run. So this was 14 episodes. And there's been a couple DVD releases of this. The original DVD release was in full-size keep cases in just a large box. This one is the just the regular sort of re-release in 2 slim cases. So if we take a look here, we have basically 4 discs. So disc 1 contains 8 episodes, the first 8 episodes. And kind of nice, we get different artwork on each disc, which is something you don't see very often, especially for TV show sets. Actually, they used to do that a little more commonly back in the beginning of TV shows on DVD. They put a little more effort into the packaging. They don't really seem to do that much anymore. But there you go. And in terms of extras, there is nothing. So we have all 14 episodes. Which one is the one that didn't air? The Liberator, yeah, so there was just the final episode, or the second last episode, actually. The Liberator did not actually air, but all the other 13 episodes did. I didn't actually see the live-action series until I got the DVD set, and I just loved it. It's so good. It's actually really, really good. Very much captures the tone of the movies, so I definitely recommend it. And then finally, we have the aforementioned remastered Return to the Planet of the Apes animated series. So this is all 13 episodes of the animated series on 2 discs. Yes, they did not cram it all onto 1 disc, which is quite nice. And again, different artwork on each one. So we got a couple of the Apes characters there and 2 of the human characters there. And a little ad here for some other TV shows on DVD. We got The Time Tunnel, Lost in Space, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, a whole bunch of stuff here. We got X-Files and Millennium and Harsh Realm, Dark Angel, Angel, Buffy, what's that one? Roswell, Alien Nation, great show. Alien Nation, Firefly, great show. Actually, these are all great shows. But yeah, awesome stuff. Lots of sci-fi stuff. So one of the cool things about the animated series is it does actually have a continuing storyline, which is something pretty rare. When did this originally air? Like 1975. Yeah, so 1975. So this should give you some idea of just how quickly the Planet of the Apes franchise exploded. I mean, we had the first movie in 1968, and by this point we already had 5 movies and a live-action TV series, and now an animated series. I should mention a couple of things. You may be wondering, well, how do these fit in with the movies, or do they? Well, remember what I said about alternate timelines? Yeah, the general consensus is that these 2 series here, you can easily say are part of the continuity. They're just alternate timelines. This is the way things happened in these versions of the timeline. And there you go. Pretty simple. And that's how I like to look at it. I look at it all as one gigantic universe, and we're just seeing multiple iterations of that same universe.
And the thing that's great about this, both of these, is they really both capture the tone of the movies in their own way. This one very much feels like a continuation of the movies, except for one major difference, which is the human characters all speak in it. They're not mute like they are in the movies. This one actually kind of borrows elements from all previous iterations of the Planet of the Apes and then puts its own spin on things. And it's just really fun, and I really enjoyed it a lot. I really like both of these, and like to rewatch them from time to time. But wait, there's more, because we, of course, got the new trilogy. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War for the Planet of the Apes. Yes, and I hear there may even be more coming. But, boy, I gotta say, I'm usually pretty down on remakes and reboots and stuff. But this one, holy moly, man, did they ever do a good job. This is such a good trilogy of movies. Whether you're a fan of the originals or not, these are accessible for new fans, as well as just wonderful for fans of the classics. I mean, it basically presents a whole new origin story for how the Planet of the Apes became the Planet of the Apes, and puts a whole new spin on it. Once again, my take on it is this reboot, remake, or sequel? I say alternate timeline. So as far as I'm concerned, this is just another iteration of the same universe. Just this is the way it went in this timeline, you know? So, if we take a quick look here, this is Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Very nice slipcover on this. Shiny, embossed logo, and kind of a nice matte finish. It's very slightly embossed, so you do get a little bit of texture on the face there, which is quite nice. I don't know how well you can see that. Pick it up a little bit there. It's very subtle. Very subtle. You run your fingers over it, you can feel it. But and then on the back there, very nice as well. So, as is often the case with slipcovers, they don't give you a lot of information on the back, just kind of some review bites and some pictures. But then if we actually slip it out, we do get the same artwork on the front, but then on the back, we get a little bit more information about what's actually on the discs. So if we crack this open here, you can see we do have some slightly different artwork on the, well, actually very different artwork on the DVD and Blu-ray. This is also from the era when digital copies were actually put on the disc. So you have the digital copy on the same disc as the DVD version of the film, and then the Blu-ray just kind of stands on its own. So in terms of extras, just let you look at the beautiful slipcover again while I read the extras off to you. We have Rise of the Planet of the Apes in high definition on the Blu-ray disc, and 11 deleted scenes. The genius of Andy Serkis, who is amazing as Caesar, by the way. Scene breakdown, a new generation of apes, breaking motion capture boundaries, the great apes, mythology of the apes, composing the score with Patrick Doyle, audio commentaries by director and writers, and character concept art gallery. Very cool. I'm also often down on CG versus practical, but I have to say, in all honesty, these movies have some of the best organic creature-based CG that I have ever seen. It is absolutely stunning, the level of detail and believability. In particular, this one, when I first watched it, I literally forgot I was watching CG in some parts. It's that good. It's so damn good. So this is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Sadly, they put the sticker right on the freaking slipcover, and it damaged part of it when I took it off. Not too happy about that. But once again, you can see they continued the theme of the first slipcover by just having the face, which is a very nice bit of consistency there. Again, we have kind of an embossed logo. This time it's actually the same sort of matte finish as the rest of the cover. And again, we have some very subtle texturing on the face here, which is quite nice. But again, this is the same style of cover as the first one, so I really liked that consistency. And this time we actually do get some information on the back, and some lovely artwork there. Nice still from the movie. So if we just slip it out of the case here, we actually have a black Blu-ray case, which is quite nice. Really like that. So in terms of extras, yeah, this actually is the first one that was done in 3D as well. The first one is not 3D, but this is the 3D version. So disc 1 just has the 3D version of the film. Disc 2 has the Blu-ray feature film, just the regular Blu-ray, and bonus material. So bonus material, we've got Dawn of the Apes in high definition. That's not bonus material. Journey to Dawn, Andy Serkis, Rediscovering Caesar, Humans and Apes, The Cast of Dawn, The World of Dawn, The Ape Community, Move Like an Ape, and Artist Medium, Weta and Dawn, The Fight for a New Dawn, and deleted scenes with optional audio commentary by Matt Reeves, and feature audio commentary by Matt Reeves. Oh, and a gallery as well. So there you go. So lots of goodies on there. And if we just take a look inside real quick here, there we go. So you can see, once again, we get different artwork. We've got the 3D version here, and the 2D version with all the extras here. So very cool. That's very common with 3D editions, is you'll just have the 3D movie on the 3D disc, and then you'll have the 2D version with all the extras on the other disc. Because I guess the 3D version literally takes up twice the disc space, so they use all that space as efficiently as they can to give you the best possible picture quality, which is nice. And then finally, last but most certainly not least, I actually still have to watch this, believe it or not. I have not popped it in yet, but I will definitely do that. So this is the Blu-ray 3D version of War for the Planet of the Apes. Not as thrilled with this slipcover, to be honest. Was kind of hoping they'd continue the trend there, but they didn't. They just kind of did their own thing. Not to mention it's not matte finish anymore. It's just your standard glossy cover. Not to mention there's no texturing at all. It's just literally the artwork on a slipcover. And then on the back we've got some nice design work there and list of contents. So let's slip this one out. And oh, look, it's the exact same artwork inside. Not a nice snazzy black case either. It's just a standard blue case. If we crack it open, oh wow! And they even skimped on the disc art. Like, wow, have things changed? And it's an eco case, no less. So it just gets worse and worse. Oh well, it was fun while it lasted, kids. So let's see what we got on this one. So disc 1 again is the just the 3D version of the movie. Disc 2, we got the movie, of course. We got audio commentary by director Matt Reeves, deleted scenes with optional audio commentary by director Matt Reeves, Apes, the meaning of it all, and more. It doesn't even say what the rest of it is. So it kind of sounds like they might have skimped on the extras on this one too. I don't know what to tell you, but I don't know. I've heard that the movie is a very epic and wonderful conclusion to the trilogy. So I certainly look forward to checking that out. And yeah, for sure. All right, so just to recap here. Oh boy, this is a long one. Well, a lot of stuff to go through. It's a massive franchise. What can I say? So we got the 40th anniversary edition of all 5 movies. We got Return to the Planet of the Apes and the Planet of the Apes live action movie, and we got the new trilogy. So there you go. That is a heck of a lot of Apes action for you. Sure to please even the most diehard fan. So yeah. Gotta love it. So there you go. Quite a lot of Apes action there. Yeah, great stuff. Love this set. Really enjoyed both of the TV shows, and this is the perfect example of how to do a reboot right. Just amazing stuff. And then there's that one. So that's it for this week's Closer Look. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time for whatever the next one is. So until then, thanks for watching. Big thanks to my Patreon sponsors, and sayonara. The Planet of the Apes saga. Saga! It was kind of one of the big first... Till then, big thanks to watching. Yeah. Just redo the whole thing. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a Closer Look. No, just kidding. Not going to redo the whole thing. Don't worry.